Yo, welcome to an episode of Table Ladders and Bumps, a pro wrestling podcast, where we talk about wrestling promotions like WWE, AEW. We get tinfoil wrestling theories. Not this week, though, because we talking about the Royal Rumble. We're getting our predictions for the Royal Rumble. We're doing a little confidence poll. We're going to get into it. Try to keep it kind of short, maybe like 15, 20 minutes, Not too in depth. And we're going to talk about some AEW stuff. A big thing that popped off that you guys should definitely, if you haven't seen it, go tune into it. Look it up on YouTube. You're gonna want to catch up to it. I'm Ringside P, joined by Wade. Man, I ain't get my Jacob Fight 2 mode, man. You know how we do, man. Off the scale with it, raw and uncut with it, all gas, no brakes. It's cable has some bumps, baby. You know what I mean? Come on now. So, so man, make sure you get what is that? What is this move called? They haven't gave it the moonsault.
Oh,
It
Jacob
doesn't have a
Fatu's.
yeah.
Gosh, what is that called? No, I think they
Until we
just say
figure,
moonsault.
yeah, they gotta
They
give
should
it a
do
name.
dirtiest moonsault.
Until we figure out a name for Jacob Fatu's move, make sure you give a BTF on. Is it BTF? Yeah, the
Yeah,
BTF
yeah.
on that subscribe button. Like, share, comment, give us feedback. Check out all our content. Man, we're ready to get into the Royal Rumble. I'm excited. Let's do this pool, man. What we got? We know we got Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. We got Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY, 2 out of 3 falls. We got the men's rumble, we got the women's rumble. I'm even if we get that real quick, I'm surprised there's only 4 matches. Really. And I didn't pay as much money as I paid to watch DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns 2 out of 3 falls. I didn't ask for that. That isn't what I asked for. Granted, you got everybody in the Royal Rumble, but I didn't ask for that, man. So that's my gripe right now. But how you want to score these 4 matches?
Let's do. Yeah, we're gonna. I think the women's match is gonna start first. So let's go through that one. We'll kind of give our analysis on it,
Okay.
and how amazing the build's been. Uh, give our confidence points. 4 is the max for confidence points. Um, 1 is the lowest, obviously, and that's the one we're the least confident on. Um, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same one. But uh, yeah, let's start with that. You want me to start off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, all right, so I wanted to do an ISO real quick on this women's division Royal Rumble. I don't know. This is last year. I thought they built it up not very well either, but at
Mm-hmm.
least like Bailey had a story going into it that they built from Survivor Series. Right now, oh, I don't know what the heck's. There's like I guess Bailey's like the main person saying she's going for the Royal Rumble. Nia Jax is going for the Royal Rumble now that she lost
Yeah.
this past weekend. It's just really bad in my opinion. The build for it, and they have like 3 hours of TV twice in a week. Yeah, like you could slip in some build to this.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. Like and having a montage of Charlotte Flair like being rich and jogging. I don't think it's like really.
That's the only bill. That's the only bill they had to Charlotte Flair. That she's back and she has new makeup and she's fancy now and she has that old Carmella gimmick. It feels
Yeah,
like that's what it feels like. And so that is the bill for it, and it is terrible because I mean I feel like I've already been saying that I thought it was going to be Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. You know,
yeah,
how did we get to that point? I didn't know, but now with Charlotte Flair being the Royal Rumble, it seems like the obvious path for her to get there is to win the Rumble. Um, yeah, man, and there's no like you said, there's no other storyline that I even know even come out of the Royal Rumble. No, we thought about possibly Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, but will would they let Io Sky win the Rumble? You know, and and that be the match at Mania? Like I don't know. You know, like the skill set is there, but is the real bill there for that match? You know, the money is that the money match at Mania for real? I don't know either. You know, so it's just like it just sucks that they don't care anything about the women creatively. You know.
Yeah, and it's definitely, I know there's been rumors of like Bianca and Rhea. They're gonna
Mhm.
save that
Yeah.
for. I think they'll do like a whole. It'll be almost a year, half a year long thing because that's the
Hmm.
biggest women's main event ever,
Yeah.
realistically. Rhea versus Bianca. Um, you could even have that this year, and I think that would be bigger than uh it should be. It should main event night one. Um, I don't care who else is going on. Like you would probably have whoever you think is going to be against Cody for night two, and
Yeah.
then CM Punk. Either that's CM Punk or CM Punk is screwed again. But I don't see how you wouldn't have. But they haven't even teased that at all
No.
since last year. Them being on the cover together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the build's terrible. Io was part of the women's Rumble thing last year, where she was the one who was challenged
Hmm.
by Bailey. So I
Yeah.
don't think that they're scared of. I think they are a little scared. But I'll go into my final four first before I go
Okay.
into my winner. So I think this is like super obvious final four. I got Io, Bianca, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
That's my final. Is
I,
that yours?
I agree. Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. Because like, well, and if it would be one person I would switch out, I don't know who I would switch out, but I would put Liv Morgan there. Only just because the last 2 years she's been running up, and I would feel like for some reason, and yeah, we don't want to see Liv versus Rhea again because
Mm.
they they wasted that. You know, there was no real payoff out of that. But I can't. I don't know, man. I'm cool. You know, what? I'm cool with the four that we got. But if I had to put someone else in there, it'd be Liv Morgan. I'm still picking Charlotte Flair to win the Rumble. Um,
You
yeah,
got Charlotte as your winner?
yeah,
That's who I have too. I'm putting 2 confidence points on that one for me. How about you?
I think all that stuff is gonna be the same.
Yeah, you're gonna do two also?
Yeah,
Okay. Um, I don't think so. I think the men's rumble. I might mix it up with you because one of mine's counterintuitive how I did it. But uh, yeah, I thought EO was gonna be the winner basically until I saw them actually do the vignette of Charlotte Flair, and I'm like, oh, gosh, okay, she's like completely ready. The other reason I think she's gonna win, it gives them more time for her to get in ring shape for
yeah,
Mania, and you could kind of just have her win without having to do anything cool and dangerous to
hmm
her knee. Where like I think they have Io win Elimination Chamber and have her just go nuts in there doing moonsaults off the pods and everything. So like me thinking, because everything Charlotte does that's pretty cool is kind of dangerous right after you come back from ACL,
yeah,
and Io does it all better in my
yeah,
opinion. So like Io in Elimination Chamber sounds sick.
yeah.
Uh, so I would be cool with that. I also wouldn't be shocked if Becky isn't in the final four or Bianca. Those two I could see stuff happen where like
Yeah,
I think
so
they're
we
gonna
can do it
do.
for WrestleMania.
I think Becky's gonna wrestle a bird person at Mania. So because they're both Irish, they have like a whole her and Lyra. They have like
Hmm.
history in NXT and stuff. And she was kind of like remember before she left, she was kind of mentoring Lyra and
Yeah.
everything. So
Okay.
I think they're gonna try to build that belt up and have her go for it.
Okay.
So I think
And then we
Liv's
still
gonna
got
win the tag titles soon
yeah.
too. I think that's what they're gonna do with Liv.
And then with the Bianca, we know we still got that this terrible storyline with the Jade Cargill thing moving. So I think that we get to that point too. So I
Does
can
anyone
see
know she's injured? Is she still injured or what's wrong?
no one knows. No one knows who attacked her. No one knows if she's hurt for real. No one knows if it's whatever.
I wish they would have had the chalk around her too. That would have been awesome. I mean, we know who hurt her. It was freaking Naomi, but um, yeah, I don't like that because now
Yeah,
it's gotten to the point. I don't even want that match between Bianca and I guess they're
Jade.
gonna. What are you gonna do, Bianca and Naomi? I don't
Jade.
like that. That's a waste of Bianca. No offense to
Yeah,
Naomi, but she ain't. There's 10 people on that roster that are better.
they've been
Oh,
wasting Bianca.
I forgot about Jordan Grace.
Oh yeah.
She's officially
Oh
part of WWE.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
changed my mind. I'm putting her in instead of Bianca,
Okay.
uh, which is probably a bad decision, but I think she's going to get the most eliminations, which
Oh
is
yeah.
another. I have that as a side thing.
Okay.
Jordan Grace is mine for most eliminations.
Um, for a surprise person, I'm thinking AJ Lee. So I know you like know you like Becky versus Lyra, but I kind of like the possibility of Becky versus AJ Lee or AJ Lee versus maybe Bailey, something like that. But I feel like AJ Lee should pop up this year. I think it's time.
Mine's Nikki Bella. That's my surprise,
Yeah,
which I don't think is that big of a surprise, but I mean, yeah, she was looking nice on that one Raw. So,
the premiere.
uh, yeah, good lord, poor Bill Simmons was trying not to look at her while she's shaking her butt. All right, let's go into Cody versus KO.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm excited for this match. I'm more excited to see like what happens during it. I
Yeah,
feel like both of us probably agree on the outcome of this match, which is Kevin Owens obviously winning. Uh, I would be so hyped for you if Kevin Owens beat Cody while you're there, like ringside.
I think that would be great. I just I just feel like this is not going to happen. It would be a great twist, but we are already starting to see the progression of Cody being afflicted by the title. It seems like it's taking over him. Well, that's what Punk kind of alluded to Monday
Yeah,
or whatever. And I don't know if it's necessarily you can call it the being the title, or it just could be that Kevin Owens is just pushing him to the limit, that way. But man, I think it's gonna be a good match, and I put 4 on my confidence for that.
that's what I got too. I think
Yeah,
that's like it's so obvious that
yeah.
it would be sick if they actually put it on KO, and I would be fine with Cody winning it back at Elimination Chamber.
Hmm.
But they won't do that. That'd be a great story though. Or if KO took down the one belt and Cody takes down the other one, that'd be kind of corny. But yeah, I'm cool with. I like this story. I'm more excited to see like what happens with Sami Zayn and KO
Hmm. Yeah.
personally, and then I feel like we should probably talk about this. Or we could talk about it after the men's thing. Just Cody and CM Punk's kind of
Oh yeah.
chemistry is like unreal.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some cool options we have. Um, Next, let's do DIY and Motor City. The match you're most excited for.
Yes.
I think this will be match of the night. By the way, I think this will be better than every other match.
I mean, they can go. I won't deny that they can go. And initially, I got tired of hearing about Motor City Machine Guns only because they kept hyping them up too much to me. And I'd rather watch it than them hyping it up. And so I think they had a match against Los Garza recently.
Oh, that
And I
match
was,
was
yeah,
yeah,
I was like,
she was
man,
sick.
like, all right, cool. This is what I want to see out of them, without someone constantly telling me that there's your favorite tag team, you know. Um, and DIY, I think the four of them all have good chemistry together. So it just, I get it. I get why it's there. The match is there. But I'm like, man, like, it's the Royal Rumble, and I only got four matches. And I'm like, yeah, both Rumble matches are probably going to be like an hour, you
Yeah, at
know.
least, yeah.
And I'm like, man, like, I guess I would have rather it be something else versus 2 out of 3 falls. But and I hate to give it a one for my confidence pool, but I think I will, only because I'm more excited for the men's rumble this year. Not necessarily the quote unquote star power of the men's rumble that you keep saying.
Yeah.
This when I look at the men's Royal Rumble, there's so many different storylines going into it, which is cool to me. And whereas the women's you have zero, but I feel like you have a good 4 or 5, and they might not play out well in the Royal Rumble, but going into them, me seeing them going into the Royal Rumble, I'm excited to see that. So I'm excited to see what John Cena does, Royal Rumble. Can Punk get his WrestleMania main event from the Royal Rumble? Roman versus all Royal Rumble, uh, Seth Rollins' interaction with Roman Reigns. Uh, the possibility of won't happen, but can Jey Uso win the Royal Rumble? You know,
I'm sorry. I would, bro. If that happened, I would maybe not watch WWE anymore. If they went that wild with that decision, who would he challenge? Gunther?
yeah,
Oh hell no,
yeah.
no. I like Jay. Here's the thing. Well, I appreciate Jay for what he is. He's grown on me. I still think his matches aren't particularly great, but for to give him the Rumble, he's a Money in the Bank guy to
And
me.
I wish they wouldn't have squandered the Money in the Bank contract between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. They
What?
didn't need.
I don't even
They
think
didn't,
Jey Uso needs the contract, but he's someone that can win it as a babyface and do it
yeah.
in a cool way.
'Cause you
But
know what I thought? I thought, what if he would have won Money in the Bank, and then we get to the Rumble. He doesn't win the Rumble, or whatever. But say, say, let's just say Punk wins the Rumble, right? And then Gunther comes out or whatever, blah blah blah. Punk gives him GTS. Jey Uso comes out at Royal Rumble, wins. Like, I think the crowd would have went crazy if that happened. But and just looking at the progression, just the energy that he brings, the momentum, and the way the crowd is behind him now, like, I think that would have been a crazy moment for them at the Royal Rumble.
bro, I got one even better. I got a wild one. You have KO actually win, and then Jey Uso cashes in on KO as soon as he wins. And wins, and KO goes even crazier. Just like like obliterates Jey Uso, he has to relinquish the title. Can you imagine? KO would play that off so good, getting cashed in on.
Yeah,
It would be awesome. But yeah, any of those would have been better than what they did with Drew. That was so unnecessary. I don't know why they
yeah,
did that. Um,
yeah. So, oh, so what you got for your compass pool for DIY and
I got three. I got DIY winning in three because they just did that heel turn, and it would be a waste. You could still have them get pinned like a match and
mhm.
show some, but I think Pretty Deadly's going to get involved. Like, there's going to
Yeah.
be some silly stuff.
I feel like
Uh,
we're gonna see a pretty deadly face turn.
Yeah, I think people like them.
Yeah.
And there's too many heels on that in that in what you would call it. So I I hope, man, I really want Pretty Deadly to win at Mania. I think there's a good chance they get a Mania match, and I think it'll be like a triple threat or something. But
Okay.
um, because then, ooh man, I'm making Marlon dress up as Pretty Deadly the next year. So, because I had a bet that they would win the titles before the Usos did the tag titles again.
Okay.
So Marlon's got to dress up with a whole fishnet outfit with his stomach showing at Mania the year after. So, but yeah, for uh for the men's rumble, I like this build a lot. There's
Mhm.
a lot of cool stuff. Other than I have no idea what's going on with Roman. He beats Solo, which is like the least cool win ever. Is beating Solo, and then he hasn't been on TV for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of like they need something wild into this bloodline storyline. I think now.
I think I mean, we still got the wild card, and it's The Rock still. It's going to be whatever happens with that. I think we get some kind of interaction between Solo and Jacob. You know, uh, and I think that's a possibility. Not necessarily say I wouldn't see this match, but that is probably a match they might go with at Mania. Jacob versus Solo.
Oh hell no!
Yeah,
Oh god, I'd be so annoyed. Solo
but
wrestles the exact way that would makes Jacob less exciting. Because he'd have to slow, like kind of like what he had to do against Braun Strowman.
yeah,
He had to slow down for the match to give Braun Strowman crap. And then once they were like, okay, you could fatality him, then it was cool, but the match was over. Like
yeah.
he's just destroying him, and yeah, I don't. I hope you're wrong with that. I think it's Roman versus him at Mania.
Roman versus Jacob at Mania.
Yeah, that'd be a
It's a
sick match.
I I agree, but I just feel like Roman star power is Jacob isn't there star power wise yet for Mania match to see Roman and Jacob.
Yeah,
Where
but
Roman
who
can,
is other than Cody or CM Punk
and I know,
or The Rock? There's three
dude,
people,
yeah,
and he probably ain't wrestling any of them.
yeah,
So like you gotta at some points you're gonna have to bring people up to
yeah,
make them like because I mean he went against freaking Logan Paul in his first
yeah,
match
true.
like pay-per-view. So I think Roman could do it. I'd like to see him wrestling as a babyface against Jacob, but
Hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked if people were cheering for Jacob against Roman.
Yeah, they were cheering at 9 event, so
Yeah, that's against Braun Strowman, but yeah, still, like he was being like ruthless. That's pretty funny when they were cheering for him as he's getting freaking stink faced a million times. Or sweet cheek music. Okay, so for my final four, I have CM Punk, which I'm assuming both of us have.
yeah.
I unfortunately have Seth.
Okay,
I have Drew McIntyre.
okay.
And then I have Roman.
I got Roman and Punk definitely. Uh, I would say I want to say Cena in the final four.
Cena?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be against that.
and then my see it's kind of like an asterisk, kind of like four because it would be like a five because I feel like we get to the point where
Dude, you might have the exact same thought process as me. Go ahead.
I'm thinking like yo he's gonna pull the card that he's the boss and he's gonna come out the last number or something like that 31 and it's gonna be The Rock.
So I that's what I did. as the winner, but I tip my final four as that, and then I
Yeah,
have CM Punk thinks he wins, and then it goes to 31, and then The Rock comes out and beats his ass after he's tired. So that's what I think is gonna happen.
yeah,
I think some of it is probably both of us coping
yeah,
that The Rock probably isn't doing anything, and like this story needs The Rock. I think this bloodline story, like if you don't have The Rock, it's kind of like all the breadcrumbs they laid.
yeah,
He's kind of ruined them by not being involved.
yes,
So he now, if he wins, then that really makes things interesting. Because
yeah,
you think he goes against Cody, obviously,
yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
do you have Punk win Elimination Chamber?
Sounds the Gunther.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good match.
yeah, that is.
Cena versus Gunther's terrible, I think.
Yeah, but that would just be for nostalgia or just emotional type of match, not necessarily good like wrestling wise. Um, but like man, and I think like when you say like coping, I think that was correct just because like we've been waiting for The Rock for a very long time to
Yeah,
be a part of the storyline, and we felt like we got it. WrestleMania, beginning of WrestleMania 40 season, and then everyone up in arms and it went the different way or whatever, and they said they planned it or whatever. And then you get the
yeah,
the night
yeah. Whatever he said, yes.
we get the night after Raw and more teasing, like, and we thought they were gonna have some type of interaction down the line. That's what they planned to deceive for. And then we get to the Raw premiere and he's thanking them and they drinking backstage and they're shaking hands and giving props and I'm like what is happening right now? Like every storyline that you built up to, you just completely just dumped on. And then you show up at Bad Blood. You show up even before that. You show up at Bad Blood at the end of Bad Blood. Do some that for what? What is
That's
all this
so
for?
stupid.
What was all this for? So that's why I'm like, I think that was just like, man, it has to be for something. Please let it be for something. And I think this is where we at with it. Like we want the Rock. We know the match isn't going to be great, you know, but I think for the story part of the match, you have to have The Rock versus Roman. You know, we have to get to that part for the Bloodline storyline to completely conclude. That's the end of the storyline. You know, they don't align to be on the same team. They have to butt heads, and they mentioned, and that's what we're gonna hone the thing. But they made this emphasis on how The Rock is High Chief now. He's
Yeah,
the High Chief. And I'm like,
Ava's the final boss on NXT, but he's the final boss. I don't know if you caught that on the NXT episode.
and it's like, dude, like, why are you guys stating that he's the High Chief and putting emphasis on that? And the video package that they showed was so old. It was an old video package. It wasn't something new. So he's been. You only bring that up now because it has to be for storyline purposes. Stop giving us breadcrumbs that go to nowhere.
Well, this is like what WWE was like before Vince left, where he would just have a storyline and then it just ends randomly with no rhyme or reason. But I mean, if The Rock doesn't get involved, it's just stupid. Kind of the
Yeah.
Bloodline storyline. It doesn't make sense. They could always just like let it simmer and hope he decides to come back in. But
Hmm.
he's the largest shareholder right now. So it makes me think he's gonna get involved.
Hmm.
I do. I think him versus Cody would be a really good match. I think Cody would put together like a. Cody would be willing to show ass and like make himself look stupid, I
Mm-hmm.
think both of them would put together a really good match. And then I think next year you do Roman versus The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
That would be how I would book it. If he doesn't show up and we get CM Punk versus Cody, I don't think that's really much of a loss.
No, no,
It's
especially
just
after
who
Monday.
goes against Gunther
Yeah,
because I
no, because
can't.
especially after Monday, that looked like that was the mania match.
Yeah, that's one of the best promos I've seen
Yeah,
in a while because it just felt real
yeah,
and I felt like uncomfortable watching it, kind of like with The Rock and Cody after Mania, where he's like, can The Rock hold your belt?" And he's just like, it just you feel like, oh, this is something like CM Punk. I was like, I feel like he might just like turn on him right here.
Mhm,
So yeah, I think they need The Rock involved just because I don't know what you do with Gunther.
mhm,
In my opinion, well, who does he? Seth? No one wants to see that.
mhm.
Seth would try to have a 5-star classic and go like 25 minutes at Mania and everyone would be bored. Um, who would you want Gunther to actually wrestle?
It depends on what I want. So if I want, 'cause me wanting a great wrestling match is gonna be different than me wanting the emotion and feeling of something. You know, like the conclusion of John Cena's, well, not conclusion, but part of his farewell tour. You know, like that would be a moment for him to break the record at
Yeah.
WrestleMania. You know, so that's different than me wanting. I know I'm not gonna get the great best match, but I
No,
know
yeah.
the feeling wise after that, I'm gonna get that. I hire for that. Uh, and not that it's even possible right now because this dude is heel, but I would like to see Drew McIntyre versus Gunther.
They
You
have good
know,
chemistry. They just
yeah,
wrestled a lot, I think, right?
yeah. Um, but that triple threat match at WrestleMania 39, him, Gunther, and Sheamus, that was a good match. You know,
I got one.
what?
What about him and Penta?
It looks like they building defensive to Braun Breaker.
Yeah, that'd probably be better. Jacob Fatu is another person I would like. I mean, that's early for him, but
Yeah.
that match would be sick. I
Hmm.
just, dude, on Raw, there's like no one that I would even want him to wrestle.
No,
Priest, I like Priest a lot. I don't want that
he's
match.
on SmackDown now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, you know, it would be. I'd rather have Dominic Mysterio than probably like Seth, to be honest, just because it would be funny. They have
Which,
good chemistry too. They have like
yeah,
really good matches together. I don't.
and I think they keep trying to build to possibly Dom being the face. I can see that. You know. Um, and real quick, man, we gotta mention that tag team match. I thought going to that match, I thought that was gonna be the bathroom break. The
Me too.
War Raiders versus Dom and JD. But that match, that was fire. That was and JD McDonough. We gotta take our hats off to that dude, man. Like that was amazing for him to take those bumps like he did and still keep going like he was doing.
Freaking pierced lung,
Yeah,
and he's gonna be out for like 4 months, I think.
yeah, yeah.
So
He finished the match. And finished the match. And still didn't look like anything was bothering him. Did everything like he was still was doing, you know? So
he's really good. And
yeah,
Dom was doing stuff in that match he almost never does. Like he was
yeah,
doing like diving between the ropes and stuff, and it looked clean. I'm like, what the heck
yeah,
is going on here? Everyone, like, I don't know if it was after JD almost died. They're
yeah.
like,
That's so
let's like bring the noise. But that match was, it was really good. That was one of the
yeah,
better tag team matches I've seen this year. Um, uh, yeah, I do want to finish. Because you're done talking about all that, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I did want to talk about the Tony Time slash
Mhm.
Timeless Tony Storm um, reveal. And I know you've seen it too, right, Pierre?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it, you guys need to watch it on YouTube. It's on there. It was it logically makes very little sense why Tony Storm did it because she gets beat up then does the turn and doesn't even get like a. But for how weird her character is, it just like worked.
Hmm.
Still, Marlon said he got chills watching it, and I did too. I Her acting is so good
Yeah.
for that character. Um, what'd she say? Like, I gave birth to you. I'm gonna shove you up my womb and then spit
Yeah.
you out, and then I'm gonna rip off your tits or whatever. It was just so ridiculous. And if you read that like transcript of everything, you'd be like, "This sounds ridiculous," but it works for her. So
Yeah.
I don't
The way she
know.
acts and everything, and just her facial expressions, the emphasis, and she puts in her voice on certain words and stuff like that. Like it is an actual performance. It's like, and sorry to cut you. It's like, man, when the last time we seen a female wrestler or even like men's wrestler put put on like a full performance and be completely into the gimmick? Like outside of Bray being into the gimmick or Taker being into his gimmick like this, like she's so committed to the gimmick. It's great to see the passion for it.
I would say the level of difficulty for hers is like harder than both of theirs.
Hmm.
It's like a spooky thing. Bray's is, I would say Undertaker's is the easiest. He has almost no personality in general and plays like a dead person, like
Yeah,
a
but look at
so
the commitment
he
to being the
he.
character. Yeah.
But I will give him he completely stayed into that character for like 20 years, which is unreal. Bray's is very he had a commitment that was next level for sure, and especially when he was doing like the Firefly Funhouse stuff,
Mhm.
where it's like the weird kind of campy, like it's just like kind of
It's like
uneasy.
PB's Playhouse, but twisted.
Yeah, it
Like
was.
PB's Playhouse.
I would put him and Tony at like the same level. Now that I'm
Mhm.
thinking about it, because if it was just like the Fiend, I'd be like Tony's is better. But like everything he did with those characters
Mhm.
and stuff, I would say that's probably the only person I could even put at her level because it's. I think hers is so difficult to do too,
Mhm.
where you're playing just this
'Cause it's from a
weird.
different era too. Like I said,
Yeah,
you gotta mimic that era, that style, the way of talk. You know, where like I said with Bray, you can just you're free to create in
yeah,
any space. You know, so like she's confined to a certain era, but she has to be a part of. You know.
yeah, and she kind of like has. Yeah, I just because a lot of the characters she's like based it off of, I've like seen those movies because
Mhm.
my family likes old black and white movies and stuff. So, um, like I've seen All About Eve, I've seen Sunset Boulevard. Those are like the two you mean main movies. A lot of this stuff is based on, but yeah, it's so good. And her acting of playing herself from before is also like like just the naive rookie was kind of insane too because it was I don't know if you had watched many of her matches, but she'd basically win on like cheap cradles every time and be like lucky, and she's like really had this in her like the whole time, but she's like trying to play off like she's getting her ass beat and then does like a cradle to win every time against was doing it to everyone. So yeah, I just uh, the whole thing was really cool how they did it, and her and Mariah have really good chemistry too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. But that's all I got for that. I just wanted, yeah, I knew you had seen it too, so I wanted to give props to that because we don't see anything that like well done. I don't think acting wise in wrestling
Oh yeah.
very often. Usually we see
No.
like Seth Rollins pretending he's the Joker or something. So it's
Oh man, before we leave, I forgot the man. Marlon was on away on business, so we forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
But hopefully he'll be back next week and it'll be the three of us again back with Table Ladders and Bumps. But man, thank you guys for tuning in. I know it was gonna watch the Rumble. Give us your thoughts, your opinions. Who you guys think is gonna win? Who you guys want to win? You know, I'm looking forward. I'm gonna get a bunch of like videos and stuff like that. I got some meet and greets. I'm leaving out tomorrow. So I was originally leaving Friday, but I'm leaving out tomorrow.
Oh,
Uh,
sick.
I signed up for Bianca Belair, so I'm taking my daughter to go see her. And then she doesn't know it yet, but I got Cody too. So
Damn, that must have been a good chunk of change. The
two
Cody
hundred.
one.
It was
Oh,
200 bucks.
200? Oh, okay. That's like what I paid for Bailey at
Yeah.
Mania.
And then Friday I got Io Sky, I got Kofi Kingston, and then autograph thing with Jay Uso, and then the Miz.
You didn't get Scarlet and Karrion Kross. That would have been like the only one I would have got. I would have gotten that. I would have been in first in line. Uh,
I thought about it. Like, man, I didn't spend too much
yeah,
already,
no, yeah,
but
you got a lot, and you have to pay for your daughter's stuff too. So that's a whole
yeah,
whole
and
thing.
we still gotta
Dang,
get,
man,
get merch and stuff too. So
you guys are gonna have fun, man. I'm excited for you guys. Um, yeah, I think I'm just gonna end up doing until Mania AEW things. I think I'm going to Revolution. I'm probably gonna do VIP for that.
okay,
Um, but that's like $800.
that's not bad.
Yeah, and I'm like second row in the bowl thing, and then get to meet a bunch of people and stuff. So yeah, should be. We'll see, but yeah, and it's at LA too, so I don't even have to do anything. I just drive
Okay,
40 minutes, so it'll be
oh,
nice.
yeah, that's what's up.
Um, yeah, but yeah, hopefully Marlon's back next week. I will be gone in 2 weeks because I have the same thing Marlon has right now
Mm-hmm.
with my company. So, but his is like long. I don't know why he's gone this long. So
You
mine's
just want
like
to get away.
four. Yeah, mine's like 4 days. So, but yeah, I'll have to miss in 2 weeks. But then we should be good to go for till Mania and
Yeah,
get after it for that. So yeah, I don't got anything else. Thanks for hosting, Pierre.
no problem, man. Thank you guys for, like I say, checking us out. We coast to coast, post to post with it. Until next time, adios, peace.
Peace.